Hello designers, welcome to Codep Superior. My name is David Ghost Power. So in today's tutorial, I'll be learning how to draft this asymmetrical neckline gown. If this is what you would like to learn, please kindly sit back and enjoy our drafting class. Hello Thank you. Designers, welcome to Codep Superior. As you can see, I've drafted out my basis block and I went ahead to mark out my chest line, bust point, under bust and waist length, and also folded my pattern into two. So I went ahead to mark out my shoulder measurement, which is 16 divided by 2. We get 8 inches. So I went ahead to rule a straight line. So guys, the next I went to have to mark out my neck width, which is 3 inches. And on my armhole line, I went ahead to mark out 1.5 inches as my shoulder slope. I also went ahead to connect both together. Then for my neck depth, I came down by 3 inches and I also used my curve ruler to connect my neck width to my neck depth to give me my neckline. The next thing I went ahead to divide my armhole line into two equal halves, and I came in by 0.75. So I went ahead to connect my shoulder slope to my armhole line midpoint. Then I measured my bust circumference, which is 40 divided by 4, which is 10 inches. I went ahead to use my curve ruler to curve out my armhole curve. The next thing I went ahead to mark out my waist circumference, which is 35 divided by 4 plus 1.5 inch for my dart intake, and I went ahead to connect both together. So on my bust point, I went ahead to mark 4 inches on my center front to give me my bust palm measurement, which is my nipple to nipple measurement. And on both sides, I went ahead to take 0.75 on my waistline to get my dart intake. So guys, I've already returned the 1.5 inch on my waist measurement. So I went ahead to come down by 2 inches, which is my bust dart measurement. So guys, I went ahead to connect it to my bust point. The next thing I'll go ahead to do, I'll go ahead and curve out my armhole princess dart. On the midpoint of my armhole curve, I went ahead to use my curve ruler to curve out my armhole princess dart, as you can see. So guys, can you see the way I curved it out? The next I went to air to do, I took my tracing wheel to trace out all my markings on my pattern so that it can reflect on the other part of my pattern paper. So guys, can you see the way I'm tracing it? I went ahead to trace it. Note that I folded my pattern paper into two. So guys, once I'm done tracing it, I went ahead to open up my pattern paper. So can you see? I went ahead to open up my pattern paper and I went ahead to mark out all my lines. You might not see it, but when you are drafting it, you will get to see it on your pattern paper. So just go ahead and do the same thing that I did. So guys, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like and share our tutorial, and don't forget to comment as well so that we can know how we can help you. Thank you guys. So guys, I went ahead to connect my neckline. Once I've traced this out, I'll go ahead and draft out our asymmetrical neckline. To draft out our asymmetrical neckline, on the shoulder tip of my neck width, I will come down by 7.5 inches. Can you see? And I'll go ahead and rule a straight line. So just come down by 7.5 inches on the tip of your neck width. Then on the other tip of my neck width, I will also use my curve ruler to curve out my asymmetrical neckline. Can you see? It's so very easy. It's not hard. Very, very easy. Just go ahead and use your curve ruler to curve out your asymmetrical neckline like I have done. So once I've done that, the next thing I'll go ahead and do, I'll go ahead and open up my midpoint of my waist dart so that I can close my bust dart. The next thing I'll go ahead and do, I'll go ahead and cut the excesses I have on my pattern paper and my waistline. And I'll go ahead and slash open the midpoint of my waist dart. That's the center point of my waist dart. Can you see? That's my center that leg. So once I've gone ahead to open this up, this will enable me to be able to close my bust dart. So guys, I'll go ahead and close my bust dart as you can see. So just go ahead and do the same thing. So once I've closed my bust dart, I'll go ahead and use my tape and tape this up. So once I've done with this, the next thing I'll go ahead and do, I'll go ahead and blend up my line on my side, because if you check the our side line, we have a shortage there. So just go ahead and blend it up like as I am doing. So guys, once we have done blending it up, the next thing we'll go ahead and do, just go ahead and cut out all our pattern pieces together like so. So guys, watch carefully the way I'm cutting so that when cutting you won't make any mistake. Once we are done cutting, this is what we have. Can you see? We are done with strapping of the front. So before we go ahead with our neckline, we'll go ahead and draft out the back piece. On my armhole line, I went ahead to divide it into two equal halves to get my midpoint. Then for my midpoint, I came in by 0.5 inches and I went ahead to connect it like so. And on my bust point, I went ahead to divide my bust circumference like that, like as I did at the front, and I went ahead to curve out my armhole curve as you can see. So guys, on my waistline, I went ahead to divide my waist circumference by 4 plus 1 inches, and I went ahead to mark out my side line. On my neck width, I used 3 inches for the back. Then for the depth, I made use of 1 inches. So guys, I went ahead to mark out my bust span measurement, which is 4 inches, like I did at the front. So I marked out 4 inches to my waist length, and I went ahead to mark it out. So guys, I started marking my nipple measurement on my chest line for the back. So on both sides of my waistline, I went ahead to mark out half of an inch, and I went ahead to mark out my dart. Then I went ahead to connect my armhole dart. As you can see, make sure when you are connecting it, make sure it's not too curvy. The back don't need to be curvy for your armhole princess dart. So once I've done that, I went ahead to come in by 1 inch to tighten my back. You can as well come in by 0.75 or half inch, depending on how deep your back is. If you have folds at your back, if you have a fuller back, you can come in by 1 inch. Then for more tightening again, I came on by half of an inch to tighten my back very well. Then I went ahead to connect as so. Now this process is done for those that have deeper back and those that are fat, but those that are slimmer or doesn't need to come up by half inch, just use 0.5 inches. So I went ahead to replace the 1 inch I took out for my back tightening on my waist length, and I also went ahead to connect like so. So once we are done with this, I went ahead to check if my waistline is accurate. So I just went ahead to confirm my waist measurement, and as you can see, it's both accurate. So just do the same. Make sure you confirm your waist circumference and your bust circumference before you transfer to your fabric. So once I'm done with this, everything looks accurate. So guys, I went ahead to cut out everything that I have here. As you can see, we are done cutting for the back, and this is what it looks like. So guys, I'll go ahead and pick my front so that we can proceed to our collar for our symmetrical neckline. So the next thing I'll go ahead and do, I'll go ahead and measure what I have on my neckline. Yes, for the front. Just go ahead and measure what you have on your neckline for the front and also for the back. Note that the back we didn't fold into two. So whatsoever thing we measured for the back, we are going to multiply it by 2 because we didn't fold the back into two. So for the front, I was having 18.25 inches. That was I was having for the front. So go ahead and measure it up and note it down. Then for the back, when I went ahead to measure the back, I was having 3.5 inches. So by the time I multiply my 3.5 inches to 2, I'll be having 7.5 inches. So this is for my front 80.25, and for my back is 3.5. So this 3.5, I'll go ahead and multiply it by 2, and I'll be having 7 inches. So just go ahead and note down whatsoever thing that you have here. So once I'm done with this, I'll go ahead and add up what I have for the front and for the back. So for the front, I was having 80.25. I'll go ahead and add it up to the 7 inches which I have, and I was having 27.25 in total. So what I have for the front and for the back is 27.25 in total. So this is where 27.25 falls. So this is what I'll be using to cut my collar for the symmetrical neckline. So guys, to cut out my collar for a symmetrical neckline, I went ahead to get a big pattern paper. Just get a bigger one and fold it in a triangular form, in a bias form, like as if you want to cut out a flare. So just fold it in a bias form or in a triangular form, like you see me do here. So guys, once I'm done folding it, I'll go ahead and fold it again into two, like as if you're folding into four. So fold into two and fold again also into two, making it into four. So guys, can you see? For the width of my collar, I'm going to mark out 7 inches, which is what will be reflecting for my collar at the front. Then this side will be for my center back. So now I went ahead to mark out the length of my collar, which is 27.25. I went ahead to divide it into two equal halves. I was having 30.6. So I went ahead to mark out my 30.6 like you see me do. So once I'm done with the markings, I'll go ahead and connect it like so, and also connect a straight line to the 30.6 I marked. So I went ahead to use my straight ruler, and I went ahead to connect it. Can you see? I went ahead to connect it to that's the 7 inches for the width. Then for the center back, I went ahead to reduce the width by 2.5 inches. So just go ahead and mark out 2.5 inches like so. Then once you are done, go ahead and connect a straight line from the 7 inches you have to the 2.5 using a straight ruler. So just go ahead and do what you see me do like so. So guys, once I'm done connecting this, I want to go ahead and reduce the neck width because I felt it's too wide. So I reduced it by 1 inches, and I went ahead to connect it back. So once I'm done connecting this, the next thing I'll go ahead and do, I'll just go ahead and cut all that I have so that we can see whatsoever thing that we drafted out. So I went ahead to cut it out like so. So once I'm done cutting this out, this is what we have. Can you see how curvy that side is? That is where we'll be adding to our symmetrical neckline. This is where we'll be adding. So guys, the next thing I'll go ahead and do, I will just go ahead and place it like this because this is how it will look like. I just want to show you how this will look like before we transfer to our fabric. So guys, we are done with the drafting for both the front and for the back. The next thing we'll go ahead and do, I'll go ahead and transfer all my pattern pieces to my fabric like so. So guys, I'm gonna head to transfer my pattern pieces to my fabric, and I made use of a plain crepe like so. So guys, on my side for my center front, I went ahead to add half of an inch, but for the side I added 1 inch for my seam allowance. Then for the down, then the upper part, which is my shoulder line, I went ahead to add half of an inch. I also went ahead to iron my interfacing to this. So guys, I went ahead to add 1 inch for my zipper allowance, which is my center back. Then for the side, I added 1 inch like I did at the front. Then for the princess that area, I also added half of an inch. So guys, for my collar, I'm gonna add to add half of an inch on both sides like so. And I also went ahead to iron my interfacing. Can you see? I went ahead to iron my interfacing on it so that it can be firm once I've sewn it. I also did the same thing for my center back. I added interfacing on all my pattern pieces like so. So guys, we have come to the end of this tutorial. In my next tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to sew all this together. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so that when I post new videos, you'll be the first to see it. Thank you guys for taking your time to watch this tutorial. In my next class, I'll be teaching you how to sew all this. Thank you guys. See you.